smiling face. Be what you wanna be. Make up the memory. It's your reality.
What's going on, everybody? There we go.
Wrong one.
Tyler and Sean here from Rendered Reality. Thanks for joining us on Coffee and VR, as always. And we are joined by none other himself, Tyriel Wood. Thank you for joining us, man. Super cool to have you here.
Yes.
We are super pumped. I know our question list is long for you. We have so many questions about the Quest and the G2 because we are both getting them. So we really want to rip them apart and see the differences between the two. But thank you so much.
One of the only people right now, one of the only YouTubers that I know of that actually has the Quest 2 and the Reverb G2 in hand. So nobody better to talk to about these topics. And it's questions that so many people want to know. So we can't wait to get into some of this. And I just want to tell you real quick, Tyriel is actually not even using a green screen right now. So he is actually testing out for the first time the NVIDIA broadcast software, and so there's no green screen. It's cutting him out on its own, and so you actually get to see how well it works, and it's doing a fantastic job. It really is. I'm really impressed.
I know, we've been playing with it all morning. It gets better and better, doesn't it? I mean, it's just it is.
It's like the AI stuff. It's like corrects everything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, there's still some aura around, but it's pretty good. It's
for no green screen.
It's impressive.
Highly recommend this. It's amazing. And actually the audio software too. We're using the audio software to help with some audio and background noise and stuff like that. And yeah, it's great. So super pumped.
Are we sponsored by NVIDIA right now?
Right? Yeah.
Definitely
no
not.
Sponsorship across the board. Nope. Unless Mixer is making a comeback, then maybe.
Yes.
But, I don't think that's happening.
Go Mixer.
Right? Exactly. We'll bring it back from the dead. Right?
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of big things happened this week, really. Maybe not as big as some of the past weeks, but some really big stuff that we do want to get into. One thing that we've been playing quite a bit this week, and all three of us have actually played it. We all three probably have a little bit different opinions on it, and that is Solaris Offworld Combat. And I gotta tell you, we were really hyped for this game. I mean, me and Tyler had crazy amounts of hype. It reminiscence a little bit of a Halo game kind of to me, you know, laser tag mixed with some Halo. It's good. It has some things I would like to see changed, and I talked a little bit about that. I want to get your guys' opinions on what you guys think of the game.
Just before, I'll let Tyriel go on his first here, but I do just want to say I was over the top hyped about this beforehand. So yes, my opinion has changed, but I'll get into that. But go ahead, Tyriel. I'll let you tell your thoughts on it, at least.
Oh, I start? Okay, perfect.
Right. Throw you under the bus.
What an honor. I don't know that it's like dropping the ball on me is actually an honor. But anyway, Solaris. I was very scared by the game, to be honest. Like I didn't know what to expect before. Because the graphics are not, are a little cartoonish and stuff. So I was like, I don't know, let's see how it's gonna play. And I played it with friends and stuff. We were the full team and stuff like that. And it was super awesome. It was super fun. So it would, to me, was better than expectations because my expectations were very low, to be honest. And it was just fun. It reminded me of more an Unreal Tournament maybe than Halo. I'm a big Halo fan. So
me too.
For me, which way? Oh, no, this way.
Yeah.
No, Sean doesn't understand.
German Rifter.
And,
Thank you.
So I'm a big Halo fan, and I don't know. I liked it. I really liked it. It's fast. The only thing I kind of miss is the fact that when you crouch, for example, it's not really one-to-one. So you can't really do all these movements that you do usually with other games, like Onward, Contractors, and stuff, when you really go down and try to, take cover. But I think that makes the game even faster because they are always running to the objective and stuff like that. It's they did the same thing they did the Firewall 0 Hour at the end.
Right.
what I love actually, and that I can say that really reminded me Halo, is the fact that you put the helmet on and you have the HUD coming out. That is.
I think
sick.
my Halo ambitions came mainly before I played the game, like just seeing the trailers and stuff, and the weapon pickups, you know what I mean, and the power ups and the power weapons, you know, that are in the map. What did you think about the left hand? What did you think about your offhand, I guess I should say, not being tracked?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Now that you say it, it's pretty annoying.
Yeah,
Right,
I know.
yeah.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
So my first impression going in, I was super amped, you know, loading screen coming in, grabbed the helmet, everything looked really great. Polished, looked perfect. Put the helmet on, the HUD came up, everything in the helmet looked amazing. Usually I don't like that either. Usually I'm like, don't give me that crap. I don't want it occluding my view. And that, I was super excited, and I go in and I look down and I go to like look at my gun and my hand's on it. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, what's happening? And I keep trying to grab it and nothing's happening. And I'm like, well, it's got to be a setting that's off or something, right? And it's not, you know, it's part of the game. And I don't know. So it started off a little rough for me. I noticed, which drove me crazy. 'Cause again, I played a ton of Halo. And just the fact of not being able to, somebody take hits when they slide drove me nuts. So when somebody's sliding in game, you can shoot them all you want and they don't even take any damage.
It does seem that way, though. I don't know, because sometimes it felt like they did take damage, and it still makes the hit marker sound, I believe, when they're sliding. So that was weird.
They don't take any damage, though, because you can lay into them where they should have gone down and they don't. And they'll pop up and then kill you in one shot.
Yeah.
There's some things that are off about a lot of things. And I was super amped for this game, too. There's the play style and everything, like we said, you know, Halo-ish. Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like it could be an amazing game if they fix all these bugs and the party bug. And I'll let you talk about that too, Sean, because that drives me nuts, not being able to party out.
Can I say just one thing to like connect to what you said about the left hand thing? For me, it could be also a perk in a way, because these guys have a lot of experience with Firewall 0 Hour using the aim controller. All right.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I told them after trying the game, it was like, hey, when can we have the model of the guns to 3D print them and using them like the actual guns, you know? Sure. At the point, if we arrive to a point where you can have your gun over there, will feel exactly like
1-to-1.
Like, you know, like Firewall 0 Hour with the aim controller, stuff like that. And I think that will make the immersion even better. You will totally forget about the left hand that will be even more problematic than what it is, you know?
Yeah, I totally think it feels like it was built for the aim controller like that. Even when I was playing it, I was like, man, this would be great with the aim controller, but with two separate hand controllers, it just felt off. It felt weird to me. I had this arm that I couldn't do anything with, and it was really strange.
Yeah. No,
not a huge thing.
That was strange, but I looking at the future in a positive way. I think that it could be like a perk also in some way.
I agree. Yeah, and it's still in early access, whatever we call it now. I mean, pre-season, yeah. So, I mean, there's always room for improvement, and they said there will be. But I don't mind the one-handed, actually. I don't hate it. I mean, every game's different. You know, not every game you have to use two hands for guns. Like Pistol Whip, I don't mind it being a one-handed game. So I guess the more I play it, the more I got used to it, and it didn't really bother me at all. I mean, more the other things.
When you're in the action, you don't notice it as much, but it's still, I mean, like Pistol Whip is completely different because you just have a gun. You know, you don't see an arm in Pistol Whip that isn't doing anything or moving to your body. It's just weird for me because, you know, we have two hands. It's a 6 degree of freedom headset. Like, so it's just, I understand like with the aim controller and stuff, but it just seems like it was a weird design choice. Like, I feel like for the Quest and PC version, they should have just went ahead and at least track the hand. You know, it doesn't have to have a real function, you know what I mean? But at least move 1-to-1, because it just makes it almost like an out-of-body weird experience when it doesn't. And that's what kind of bothered me. But the game itself, I mean, it's a very fast-paced game. It's a great game to jump into. You know, if you got like 15, 20 minutes to play a game and you don't want to jump into something like Onward, you know, that you know, takes more time to get into, and you're waiting around a lot more. This, I mean, it's quick. You jump in there, you're in the action. Respawns literally happen in 4 seconds, so you're not waiting. I mean, it's fast paced. It's fun to play. It's going to be an easy pickup. People just getting Quest 2, they're going to be able to grab this game and they're going to be able to play it without having to learn really anything. You don't have to like in Onward, Contractors and stuff. Every gun reloads differently, right? I mean, it reloads like what a real gun would. That's a learning curve. Not everybody knows how to reload all those guns. So you could pick up a gun, you have no idea how to use it. So in this game, you don't have to deal with any of that. You grab the gun and you're shooting somebody, and that's all there is to it. So that there are some perks about the design choices that they made that I do like.
The gameplay is good too. I actually enjoy the gameplay a lot. I really do. I could find myself playing this. It gives me like old school Unreal Tournament vibes, and I love that. I do. Yeah,
I seriously think it could be a really good game as it progresses and as they continue to add stuff. Like right now, there's only one game mode, and that's like control the point kind of game mode. They're going to be adding more game modes, so I think the game really is going to continue to improve. I think maybe, I don't know, like some people say, they launched too early for the price that they're charging and stuff, and I can understand some of that. I think it'll be well worth it down the road. I think it's just hopefully they can get some more stuff thrown in there pretty quick. I don't know.
Can you remind me the price?
I think it's $20.
24.99.
24. Okay.
Yeah.
It was released.
Probably it could be a little on the expensive side.
It is for where it's at. Yeah. I mean, if it was $19.99 maybe at this stage, and then they bumped it to $25 for their full release, I could see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's good though for the release of Quest. I do, for newcomers. I think it's great.
Yeah. Let's be honest. It's on Quest.
Right.
It's
exactly.
the second shooter that we have. People are gonna buy it no matter what. So I think they also play that card.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
We are the only ones. So or you play Onward or you play us.
Yeah. And it's
totally
good timing.
Different.
It's good timing because
totally.
Quest 2 comes out soon, and it's going to be out, for the Quest 2. People can pick this game up as one of their first games they play. And honestly, I mean, looking back in 2016, the games that we were playing first that were blowing us away, I mean, this game would blow you away if you've never been in VR before and you grab this game and you play it. It's going to be impressive, because everything in VR is more impressive than flat. So
we were just talking about all of us playing War Dust. And we used to play the crap out of War Dust. And same thing, not great graphics, but the gameplay was so much fun.
It was fun.
So,
it was big, massive scale, large amount of people playing at one time. And that was actually, I was telling Tyriel before we came on, that was the first time we actually met him, was in multiplayer games, which I'm sure he had no idea who we were, but I was playing and I was like, man, I recognize that voice. Like I literally just watched one of his videos, on YouTube. So it was really cool. But I know he likes these kind of games too, because we've played Contractors. I mean, I remember playing with him and Contractors, and we were literally trading kills back and forth almost every single time it was on that Arctic map. He probably doesn't remember it because I remember, because I knew who he was. You know what I mean? But so a ton of fun though.
I know. Contractor. I have to say, if I have to make a list, Contractors is my favorite.
Number one.
I know. Yep, it's our go-to.
It's like the most polished. And the weird thing is it's so underrated compared to like Pavlov or Onward, because it arrived much later than the others. But for me, it's the most fun. I can put a stamp on it. Absolutely. War Dust was super fun. Then it got a little old. I think when they started to mess up with the maps, it became a little, come on, stop changing stuff. And but I don't know.
The one that drove me out of War Dust was when they changed the LODs of the people in the distance to little blobs. When they became jumping blobs, it was like, it just it hurt a little bit. And I get it, it's for performance reasons, but that's hard on a shooter, and then the better visuals we have in headsets, the more that shows up because you're seeing them better.
Rizzle Rock said, favorite special guest ever. Welcome to the show.
Awesome, man. Appreciate
that is awesome. And German Rifter sent one earlier too that he said.
Say that.
Yeah, he said that he couldn't watch live. So
there you go.
I can show if I do like this, like NVIDIA doesn't like my cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So
it really only does good with people. It doesn't recognize anything else very well, but it does cut out the people pretty well. It's pretty impressive. So.
I do just want to give a quick shout out to German Rifter as well, and just hope he's feeling good. Good recovery for you, man.
For sure.
Hopefully. Yep.
Good guy. One of the awesome guys. Yep. I mean, so many great people in the community. We talk about that all the time, but such a good guy.
He's the hero.
Yeah. So the next one we did want to get into was what was that called?
Which one?
The with the characters.
Lila.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find it.
There it is. There's so much stuff in here. Sorry.
I know.
So why don't you explain this a little bit, Tyler? I think you know the most about it out of all of us.
Well, I'm just kind of hyped about it. So they reached out to us. And so what this basically is in a nutshell, they are creating a game/experience, which you can see here, where you can go into these and you're actually joined by a real person instead of a computer NPC character. So you actually go into these and get to experience them with people playing out roles in these. So the characters you're seeing here are actually played by actors, and they are hired actors. So, and they are running it like an Uber platform, essentially, where you could be one of these people and get hired on board to play a character in there. So, you know, if you're really into VR and have spare time, you could do this on the side, a little side hustle, which is kind of cool. It's kind of like an experience game. We're not 100% how far they're going to go with it, but I think the concept of this is amazing because it gives you real life characters inside of VR. And if you don't have anybody to play with, like let's say you're new to VR, you want to jump in, you have somebody to interact with and help you and show you. And yes, I'm sure what they're doing is partly scripted, but I see Tyriel. I know he wants to say something. He was saving it. But I think it's interesting. I think it's a cool concept we haven't seen yet.
And we're going to try this coming Wednesday, so we haven't got to go into this yet. But it is cool because, you know, with VR, there's so much more of an interaction or personal experience level thing than what you have in a flat game and stuff. So when it's just an NPC character, you know, the world can feel kind of dead. But when you have somebody that actually can react to what you do, like you go to push a button, you know, and they're like, oh, no, don't push that one. You know what I mean? Or whatever, however it plays out.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it can be more realistic. And like we said, we haven't got to experience this yet. So I am looking forward to experiencing it myself and seeing what it feels like. But the idea around it, I think, is what is most exciting, and the kind of Uber platform of how anybody can kind of do this. And I don't know how much of an actor you have to be or anything, but it's kind of cool. But Tyriel wouldn't tell us his thoughts on it before the show. He wanted to save it for the show, so I don't know what he's thinking, and I want to know.
No, I have to say that now that Tyler said it again, like I described everything, I really wanted to be an actor there.
Yeah,
see,
I want to try the experience. Am I actually wondering how many people are gonna actually play the game instead of trying to be the actor in the game at this point?
That's true.
You know?
Absolutely.
Because I see more people trying to get money out of it than people like actually going there and stuff. But I think you know, before the show, we were a little talking about it. And I wasn't really sure that the guy from Vader Immortal was actually behind this.
Yeah, so they say now, Colin Mackey is the design director of Vader Immortal. He's the one behind the idea of this. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And now I can see it because one particular thing, like rewatching the trailer together, one particular thing of Vader Immortal is that every character has the face covered. You know, so you don't see facial expression and stuff, so they don't have to deal with that stuff. And the same exact thing that they did here. So, like, I can see that there's the same director, probably. See, the girl doesn't have, has the face covered, so you don't have to deal with, like, face expressions, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
I actually kind of hope they change that, though, because if you played the Facebook Horizons beta and stuff and you actually see the character's mouth moving, even if it's not one-to-one, there is a little bit of something in the psyche that kind of messes with you. It makes you feel more like that's an actual person. You know what I mean? So I don't love that aspect of it. I do hope that they someday add some kind of facial, mouth movement, but an eye movement.
I'm not 100%. Just one second. Sorry, Tyriel. The developer may be in chat. So if you guys do have questions, please feel free to ask. They said they may be in chat. So just so you're aware. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I didn't want to interrupt. I know I was saying like it's just it's much easier for the devs to create a game like this because you don't have to deal with many. Facebook is based on social interaction with Horizon, so of course it's something that they are working on. Over here, it's I think it's different. It's like more on the voice acting, the experience to be connected with a real person that can actually answer to your real questions and stuff like that. So I think it would be much harder because being like, you have a script to follow. Yes, you can kind of maybe do an algorithm to say, oh, this part, like, you're smiling, this part you're not.
Yep.
But if that doesn't happen, then you screw up everything. So I think that is a good choice. And with the Star Wars Immortal, Star Wars Vader Immortal actually worked. Like, I still felt connected to the characters. And if they were all with a face covered,
Yeah, that's true.
I think the other fun thing too is they could change the gameplay just by changing the script. So they could have them guide you through different experiences and do different things, or be a totally different character, male, female, cyborg, whatever you're doing. You could be a mouse, a talking mouse, for all they care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's lots of things that they really could do and change at all times without having to change the game. So
I wonder if there'll be a rating system. I wonder if there'll be a rating system too, kind of like Uber and stuff, where the actors actually get rated and you can pick, that you want this 5-star actor, you know what I mean, to go in with you. I think that'd be pretty cool. I do just want to read what he said, because it does break it down real good. He said, the brainchild of Colin Mackey, who was the design director of the Vader Immortal series, the inspiration for this project was actually based on his experience working on Vader Immortal. He wanted to give players the experience of actually meeting Darth Vader face to face. He thought it should be one of the most epic gaming experiences of your life. You are meeting Darth Vader, but it took only seconds for a player's brain to reject it as a valid social encounter. No amount of AI can convince you that you are actually talking to another person. For Colin, this was something of an existential crisis. If game developers cannot convince a player that they are standing in front of an actual person, how far can they really push emotional engagement? Will a gamer ever be convinced he is standing in front of Darth Vader? So I can kind of get that. I mean, but that was an epic moment in Vader Immortal when you saw Darth Vader standing in front of you, and he was huge. You know what I mean? Like, I never realized how big Darth Vader was until, I have a memory of Darth Vader standing in front of me. But the interaction with him, it was one-sided. It wasn't a two-way interaction where he would say something, I could say something back, and he could respond to what I said, and that, it's a cool concept. I mean, I can totally see something like this catching on.
But Sean, I'm really a little concerned by people in this case, because yes, you have a script, but what if the person doesn't follow the script? And I can see many people like starting to do that and ruining the experience, starting to say weird, we can do the.
It would almost have to have a rating system for that. Like,
it would have to
fall below or something, then you're gone.
Have to be a rating. They'd have to vet people somehow. I don't know what the qualifications are to get in. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So that it's going to be interesting. I mean, I think if it's done well enough, it could have some serious potential, but it's going to be tough. This is not going to be an easy road to go down and make it successful, I don't think. But
also not just for the actors though, also for the other people getting in the game. Like, like I can see already like people getting sexual or stuff like that. That could be completely annoying, harassing like the actors. Like, unfortunately, we have in VR, we have a problem that when you are in VR, you're an avatar and you don't have any responsibility. You don't have social responsibilities. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. And on a scene, like on a page, is like super cool because like freedom and stuff like that. On the other is like, dude, like you should follow a little moral, thing. And many people don't. And you see it with VR chat and stuff like that. So that's what I was saying before, that I want to keep it for after, because I'm a little scared by people. Not really by. I think that the idea is awesome, but in a perfect world is awesome. In a VR world right now where VR chat exists and I see what's going on there, I don't know. I'm a little concerned. I have to be honest.
I agree.
I have a little bit of a feeling that the more real though our avatars and the more lifelike they are to us, people may hold a little bit higher, responsibility because it is themselves and a true reflection. Now, if you're a character or some random thing or person like VR chat, then nobody cares, and that's where the issues I feel like lie. But
I think
we're never going to get away from it.
Horizons. I think we're going to see a lot of policing going on in there. We've already kind of got a glimpse of what that's going to look like, as being recorded, and they can go back and see what you did and stuff. So they're definitely, and I can understand some of where they're coming from, because I mean, at some point it does become harassment, because it is more real than what it would be in a flat game or a chat room or anything like that. It is more real. I mean, so it is going to be a problem, and it's something that's going to have to eventually be solved somehow, but just don't know what that looks like yet.
But I know some people are asking about it in chat too. We will have more info on it come at least after Wednesday.
Yeah, probably next show we'll talk about it some more.
Yeah, for sure.
Tyler, does this video make you laugh?
Oh, it makes me cringe, man. I can't. When I sent this, I'm like, this is unbelievable.
I know. I couldn't believe it either. So if you don't know who this is Carol Baskin of the Tiger King series on Netflix. I don't know who all watched that. I know tons of people watched it. So she's into VR. She's playing Supernatural here. She's getting a workout in.
I just want to say, this makes me feel like we have reached mainstream VR if she is playing Supernatural.
There's so many more people, so many more like big name celebrity people and stuff that are getting into VR that we don't even realize. And it really is. And we're going to get into some of the Quest 2 talk because I'm curious to see what Tyriel thinks of, does Quest 2 have what it takes to make VR really go mainstream? We're going to get much deeper into all of that a little later in the show. We're going to hold you out, make you stay the whole time.
Mike Shinoda, my boy.
Yeah.
We know he has some headsets, and gosh, would I love to talk to him about it. But I know it's pretty cool to see all these people getting into it.
Right.
It's amazing.
For sure. Have you, Tyriel?
That's a green screen, right? Behind that person.
Maybe, I don't know.
That doesn't look. Doesn't look right. Like the floor doesn't look right to me.
It's just like a big empty room with like a concrete looking floor. I don't know.
I think it probably is.
Yeah, there's a shadow.
It's a green screen. Look at the shadows. They are like too close.
The shadows. I don't know. Yeah, the light could be right there. That's a good question.
I don't know.
I love it.
So
now I'm an expert. That's a green screen from NVIDIA.
Yeah, exactly. He's an expert in green screens now. So, have you tried any of the VR treadmill stuff, Tyriel?
Oh my god.
No, I actually didn't. I tried different solutions like the Walk on VR, the cyber shoes, and stuff like that. But
have you seen these things? The Ecto One boot thingies?
I saw that and I started to laugh.
I know. Oh my gosh, I can't with these. I love when they start walking towards the wall and it just stops them, and then they just keep walking, but it doesn't let them go outside.
I mean, it is robotic. It actually controls, where you go and everything. It's a cool design, but man, I can't imagine wearing something like this. I mean, it's definitely designed for not the consumer market at this point right now, but it's. I think it has some potential for what we could see in the future, but the technology and of any of this stuff, I just don't think is there yet for a consumer market. Whether it be this or treadmills or anything.
I mean, I love this stuff. Like really, I'm a super like techie passionate person. So like if you throw something new and with a different approach, I like it. Like moment number one, but. It looks super funny. It seems like they're going to poop. It's like they're keeping like, I need to go to the bathroom.
I know.
And it's so funny. True. But I remember like, I don't know if you guys remember that this happened like 2 years ago, maybe a little earlier. The guy that now is not anymore in Tested, there was the guy in Mythbuster.
Jamie?
Yes, Jamie.
Yeah.
Jamie. He started an Indiegogo for shoes to do the same thing, but it failed the Indiegogo 2 years ago was. And the thing was exactly the same. So I think that these people saw there is Indiegogo and tried to make the same thing, put in like an LD stripes around so it looks cool.
Right.
I don't know. For me, the idea, I think it's something that we are gonna have to like solve locomotion in VR, because I want to walk in my games. Like, sure. I don't think any solution right now is good. Treadmills are not good. It's like skating. Cyber shoes, don't make me start because it's not gonna go well. Walk of VR, you're like bouncing and trying to move, there's not a good solution yet. Right. And I think that's something we have to solve. I think that this could be the right route, to be honest. I love to see this direction, but it has to be big as a pair of shoes.
Right.
And it has to be light as a pair of shoes, because it's so heavy that you see it, it's like,
it just looks awkward. It doesn't look natural at all. Yeah.
I still feel like it's always going to feel unnatural if you have to strap something to yourself. And that's always, a boundary of getting into VR is the more you have to put on. You know, we've talked about like the haptic suits and stuff. It's just another entry of having to do something. To me, I like the treadmill aspect of it, but not how they're doing it. I have other ideas of how it could work, but if it's a seamless pad that's more of a, pretend the outside of like an exercise ball where it just rotates around and it moves as it senses you get closer type thing. I feel like that's the best entry, but then again, you've got this giant area that you're taking up in your house. So I don't know. It's all hard for me.
I think there's a future. I think there's a future that something is going to happen, that there's going to be a technology that's going to be a pretty good solution, you know, but it's just not there. But we have to go through all these iterations of all these different trials of things before something finally works. You know, it's all leading up, you know, it's all getting smaller. It's all getting simpler to an extent. You know, eventually we'll get to somewhere of a point where something's pretty useful, I think, but it's not there yet. It's not. I mean,
right now we're in the moment where, like, you know, they say like throw spaghetti to the wall, and when they stick, they're ready.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Don't do it, by the way, because it's not the Italian way.
My wife would kill me. She's super Italian. Yeah, you don't waste red sauce on Sunday. I know that.
Exactly. But I feel like there's a future for this stuff, and I think that Facebook, for example, now as they acquired CTR Lab last year. I don't know if you know, guys, about it. It was a company, a New York company, that was making like a bracelet to actually read like with electromagnetic signal, read like the instruction from your brain. And now they're starting to test Facebook directly, something that was working already before, to use like in robotics and stuff like that. So if you can put the same thing, you know, to your like a leg or something like that, so you just think about moving and you actually move in that way, I think that might be a solution, and that would be great. Absolutely, it will probably solve completely like the locomotion problem. But I really love this mechanical way, because I really want to move for real, because I don't want to. Like, I want to keep myself like in a good shape in my life, and I don't want to be like to be like in in a Wall-E.
Oh
Wall-E, they're all like
in the chairs.
bubble.
I love that. Oh my gosh,
going around the chair. I don't want to become that. So,
that's true. I mean, it is true, and that's one of the things I like about VR, is that you are moving. You're not sitting on a couch, you know.
True.
I mean, getting unhealthy while you're playing video games. You're getting into shape while playing video games in VR for the most part. You know, that's great. And real quick shout out to Tony Digital for that super chat. My screen just went dark. He said they look like the shoes from the beginning of Bill and Ted 2. Yeah, and it was also Fluke Rogi pointed out Red Dwarf, the shoes from that, and it was. I mean, those are almost spot on. It's funny how they look like some other things, but so these are mug shots from our Discord that's playing here in the background. Steve XM, he's been doing some stuff in Blender. This thing you see here right now, this is all he created. All of this in Blender, which is it's amazing what he's learned in a short amount of time in Blender. It's really, really cool. So if you don't know about mug shots, in our Discord, people throw in their mug shots of just coffee mugs or whatever. So if you feel free to join the Discord and take part in that. But man, I was just really impressed with what he's done. So really, really cool.
It is.
That's awesome. Can we get in there in VR?
That's what,
right?
So
Exactly.
We were actually talking about that in Discord, and you can actually use Blender with things like Unity and stuff. And some people mentioned, you know, you should actually import some of this into Unity, and we could go into these worlds. And he said, you know, right now he doesn't really have enough time, but hopefully someday he will, because I think that's cool. I mean, I don't have the time to learn this kind of stuff. I would love to, but you know, the people that do it, it just blows me away. It's so cool. So really awesome. Shout out to him.
I keep wanting to get into Unreal for building my contractor's map, but I just have had no time to do it. You have to devote so much time to all that. It's so hard.
For sure. Tyler did make some maps for Pavlov back in the day, so we wanted to do some contractors map. We probably still will at some point. It's just getting the time to do it. Life's so busy, but we got to roll through, because I really want to get into some Quest and G2 stuff, so we do got to roll through some stuff. Swordsman did release this yesterday or something like that. So Swordsman's out. I went into it for a split second, and then I had to go somewhere, so I haven't got to really play the game yet. And hey, wow, look at that. He just presented a key.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, so we'll have more impressions on that as we get more time. But this is a PS4 code, so go ahead and feel free to pick it up, play it on PS4, and let us know what you think. And I look forward. I mean, graphically, from what I saw going into the game, the graphics look awesome. It was a really gorgeous looking game, but I haven't got into any gameplay yet, so I can't talk about it too much yet. But
can we just call Tyriel Vanna White? Isn't that the one from Wheel of Fortune, right? That presents the letters and stuff. Yeah.
Can I buy a vowel?
I was reading in the chat also, like, how does Tyriel hide his espresso behind Tyler?
Right, exactly.
Tyler's over there filling it up for him. You don't even realize it.
It's back there. Yeah, I know. I hide it back there.
Oh man, that's awesome.
It goes in coffee and comes out espresso.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. I'm stealing your mug.
Oh man. So another one we want to talk about real quick is Paragon, the Forbidden Island. Tyler came across this. This is getting ready to go to Kickstarter. It's not even Kickstarter yet, but they're getting ready to do a Kickstarter. Tell us about this game a little bit, Tyler.
So it's a steampunkish kind of game. I don't have a ton of details because they haven't released anything on it yet. But it's a steampunk / going back to dinosaurs times.
Like travel in time kind of
I just like the look of it. I love steampunk in itself, even in general. So it is going to Kickstarter in 3 days. So we'll know a little bit more about it then. But for now, all we have is the footage on it. I ended up running across this last night. I think they posted the video, maybe late. But it does look cool. I'll be curious to see where it goes and what they're doing with it. But it is going to be on all of the VR headsets, basically, and I think PC as well. There is a link in the description. If you guys do want to check out their page, they do have a website, which is right there. It is in the description, and you can sign up for info on it with your email address and a time of when the Kickstarter starts.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
But yeah, it does. Looks interesting. Yeah. Always curious to see what people do on Kickstarter and how far they're going to go with it.
Kickstarter could be the greatest thing or the worst thing ever. You just never know. You just never know with Kickstarter.
For sure. I know.
I'm more for the second one though.
Yeah, right. I know. It is. It's.
I don't really trust Kickstarter. That's just me though.
Yeah, there's some.
I think if somebody has some credentials, behind what they're doing,
and this is their first VR project.
Lo-fi, right? It is. So, like with lo-fi, we know there is backing behind that. So, going into it, I know that they're going to do probably what they say.
Yeah.
So there are some though that fall a little short sometimes. But be curious to see what happens with it. But just a
Absolutely.
And also,
one more game. We need games. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
One other thing real quick, and then hopefully maybe we can get into some Quest 2 and G2, but PSVR 2 patents. We've seen tons of these throughout the, throughout time. This is one of the latest ones that came out with showing the controllers, and very clearly from these patents, they're showing some inside-out tracking. I don't think anybody can deny that, right? But that's the route they need to take. That's absolutely what they need to do.
I don't know if it's going to be inside-out tracking.
You don't think so?
I don't know,
because
these
right here they show the reference.
It's not a good position to have inside-out tracking there, because if you look at your end, you occlude the tracking. So it's a weird position for it.
Well, it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same way as Index. If you look at the from the one shot, it has like the thing that goes around the side that actually shows the light emitters going around, as far as I can tell. But
just a little. I don't know. Yeah, no, it looks very similar to the Index, but because the Index is not inside out, and seeing like how all the others are dealing with inside out, like Windows Mixed Reality has the ring on top, Quest has the ring on top. So I kind of think that they're gonna still rely on cameras.
That is true. Or maybe a combination. Maybe a combination of both, of inside out and with an external camera. Yeah.
I mean,
could just be
those are the rays of their ends, so their eyes. So probably it's inside-out tracking. It's just a weird placement. I hope it's not going to compromise.
I wasn't thinking about
tracking.
that. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that.
It could just be a reference for the patent as well. A lot of times they don't like to show and give out everything, just enough for the patent to go through for it.
Yeah.
They don't like
I mean,
absolutely.
I have to imagine they're going to do something better than just the single camera front-facing setup there. I mean, that's behind us now. That has to be. So I don't know what they're going to do yet, but I'm excited. And honestly, I think a PSVR 2 can be such a big competitor to some of these other headsets. I mean, it's going to be, what they choose to do with PSVR 2 is really going to make or break PSVR because of the Quest 2 and stuff. I mean, they could really be some competition. And I mean, we've seen that with the first PSVR. I mean, they dominated with the first one. So I have to imagine they're probably coming in strong with the second one to dominate as well.
And as a good segue, go ahead.
Sorry. Did you see though that the CEO of Sony 2 days ago he said that VR is still an unproven territory. So it's not so he's not so confident in VR. So it's kind of weird because they are in a very good position. They have many headsets. They sold many headsets, but they're still kind of don't believe in VR fully, and that's kind of scary.
I think
I don't know.
I think the hard part too for somebody like Sony is you look at the overall picture for them. You know, I mean, in a big corporation, it's all about numbers. You look at the sale of PS4s and you know, the sale of flat games, and then you compare that with VR, and there's really no comparison yet. You know, you really have to look at the future of what could be and what's most likely going to be. You know, but it's hard when you got, you know, corporate people that are telling you, why are we pushing for PSVR 2 or VR in general when we have these numbers from flat games? You know, it's a weird position for them to be in, but at least unlike Microsoft and Xbox at this point, at least they're, you know, at least they can see some of the future where Xbox has their eyes closed. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for me, and as a good segue maybe into Quest stuff too, I feel like no matter what they do, it's going to be great competition for Oculus. And yes, totally different things, but as selling headsets, you know, we know they've sold millions of headsets already, and one of the top headsets sold as it is. So it is going to be competition, even though it's different markets, different platforms, different way they run. It's an easy upgrade for somebody with a PlayStation console. And we've seen that with the PSVR now. I mean, what is it? I'm trying to remember how many millions they've sold.
Yeah.
But it's unbelievable, you know, and they don't even have as much content.
Right. I'm still hoping that we see a wireless PSVR 2 with tethering capabilities to the console. I don't know that that's going to happen, but I feel like I feel like Quest just needs some competition. Like, I feel like competition is good. So I feel like if they can get another competition in the mobile, a standalone space, you know, and still have the power of the PS5 to power it as well, I think I would love to see it go that route. I don't know that it will. That's just what I hope for, but you never know. I was hoping for a Snapdragon 855 when we got an XR2 in the Quest 2. So you never know. You just never know.
You never know. You never know.
So let's get into some Quest 2 and G2 stuff. Oh, did you want to say something else?
No. I was just saying like that the PlayStation 5 supports Wi-Fi 6. That's a nice thing, I guess, if they want to make wireless. The only thing is like there's a difference between the Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 6E. That is the one that you will like to use for VR because that's the one with the lower latency. Because I was just looking at the Wi-Fi 6 routers, and if you look for Wi-Fi 6E routers, they are like $100 more. So, you know, it depends which kind of standards is actually supporting. If it's supporting just Wi-Fi 6, it is not going to matter anything to us. So it really depends over there for wireless VR and stuff like that. But we're not going to see PSVR anytime soon. I think we're going to see it next year because
I agree.
Next November or something like that. Because now they're launching the console that is already expensive. You can't ask people to go there. You know, it's particular.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Yeah, I wanted just to say that.
So you have the Quest 2. You've had the Quest 2 for a little while now. You had it, what, like 2 weeks before the announcement, something like that? Oh, it's so gorgeous.
I know.
We all want our hands on that thing so bad. Yeah.
So much want for it.
Yeah. So give us some. Go ahead. Give us some of your initial impressions. First trying out the Quest 2, what you thought. You know, you've played, you know, all the headsets pretty much. You know what to expect in VR. What do you think? Like, give us your takeaway. Your true uncandid takeaway of what you think of the Quest 2.
I think it's an awesome deal for people. It's $300, and it's a standalone VR, so you don't need a PC. And if you want to use it with a PC, you just connect it with the cable, and even if it's not the official one, and you get PC VR. So.
I mean, it's kind of a win-win.
No,
it is.
Everything. You know, it's people can call me like any way they want and stuff, but I'm thinking with my own wallet. If I have to spend $300 and I have the most of everything together, I will spend $300 for the most of everything together. It's just me. So even in my review, I said, like, how can you say no? It's super cheap, and it gives gives you so much value.
Yeah.
You know, it's not perfect on many stuff, but it's a you know,
it disappears unless it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Yes, it's such a good deal. And then we can talk about, is a really good deal for VR, because for people it's a good deal. It's a good deal for VR that we don't really know. I mean, depends on which kind of VR we're talking about. But to be very honest, is a great headset. They did a great job. I think they, of course, they had to take some to cut some stuff from the original Quest. But if those cuts gave us a lower price point, gave us a better screen, got us a better processor, like an XR2, is like we are paying for phones with the Snapdragon 865, they're $1,000 more. This guy is the same processor of the Note 10 Plus, and it's $300.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a screen, and there's lenses, and there's integrated audio, and there's controllers, and it's $300. Like,
yeah. I mean, Facebook definitely, they definitely want to destroy the competition in this. And I mean, that's what they're looking to do. They don't want any competition. They don't want anybody to compete with them. They want to own this space, and it's going to be hard to compete. I mean, it's just the price point, and like you said, the value that you get for $300. I don't know what else you could spend money on and get that kind of value for $300. I really don't. I mean,
yeah, you can get the news. That's it. I feel like, Windows Mixed Reality, you have like the Odyssey Plus that usually goes for $250 and stuff like that. But that's a 2 years old headset already right now. Yeah. And this is something new with a new screen, with a software that works very well.
Yeah.
They're trying to make their own monopoly in a way, like, we are the VR company. In the same way, Apple is the phone company right now. Yep. Like, how many old people you talk with, and you say, like, they tell you, you go with, I don't know, you have your fancy phone or stuff, and they say, oh, is this an iPhone? It's like, no, it's a smartphone. Like, it's like,
right.
iPhone is a brand, is not the thing. But I talked with many people, going around, like they ask you, oh, what you do? Like, oh, I do VR stuff, and like, oh, you haven't, do you play Oculus?
Right.
But they're saying like you play like a VR is Oculus for them.
Yep.
It's
and
the same way
what they want.
iPhone is VR. That's what they want, and they reached that already.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you think about resolution-wise when you're, the screen door effect for the most part is pretty much gone, and that was a big gripe of a lot of the early adopters getting into VR. So not only the XR2 chip, but, the almost 4K screen is a big jump from what we're used to. And we're going from, an LED and OLED panel to a RGB striped LCD panel, which is going to help a lot with screen door effect. Do you see any screen door effect anymore? I mean, I know you've talked about a lot of this kind of stuff, but what is your impression of the screen? And we're going to talk about it compared to G2 as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for the screen door effect is still a little there, is barely noticeable. I feel like now you really have to explain what is screen door effect, Before, we are all early adopters, like when you were putting Vive on for the first time, you were saying like, oh, those lines, let's call it screen door effect. You were making the name yourself because it was so apparent, so part of experience. And now I think you have to explain people really what is screen door effect, because if you say screen door effect, they're starting to don't understand. They're going to just say, oh, it's the resolution that is lower. The resolution is high, but not high enough. So I feel like, yes, it's pretty much almost gone. For a trained eye, you can tell, yes, it's still there. But for a person that just jump in VR, it's going to be like, whoa.
Yeah, they're never going to see it. They're never going to notice it. For sure.
Yeah, that you're going to have to say, if you say, oh, there's some screen door effects still, they're going to say, oh, what is the screen door effect? And it's like those little lines. Oh, but I don't see them. No, look better. Like, it will start a conversation like that.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, comparing that to the G2, as I told you guys before, when I got the G2, I had this like a moment of like, oh crap, this looks amazing. It's like where like the resolution was so high and stuff that I was like, I couldn't believe it. And I came from the G1, so the first Reverb. So I already had the experience with 4K display, but because of these new lenses and stuff, the clarity it's unbelievable. And I was like super whoa, like a really whoa effect, you know? And probably that's what took me out a little from the, like, the Quest 2 and say, whoa, this looks so good, because I already experienced something that is even better than it. But we're very, very close. And I sent you like a little through the lenses, like a sneak peek of the G2
oh, man, I didn't get that.
compared to the Quest 2, and they're very, very close. And
on mobile, I mean, we're talking a mobile headset. This isn't running on a PC too. I mean, it is. It's unbelievable.
It's very impressive.
I mean, the amount of pixels you have in a screen that's tiny is just amazing to me. I still can't wrap my head around it sometimes.
Yeah, I have to say though that this for now, and I don't know if they're going to be able to push it completely, but the rendering is not full resolution. So you still have the perk of having less screen door effect, but you don't run at a native resolution. So things don't get super, super crisp like you would expect. And that's why a PSVR, if you do PSVR, can be still a little better, you know?
Right, yeah. For sure. And that's something that they could possibly eventually do. I think, like we saw with the Quest 1, it improved over time.
Oh,
when they released the Quest, the Quest, tracking? The Quest day one compared to what the Quest 1 is now is two almost different headsets. They've improved it so much. Even the tracking got way better down the line. So I think Quest 2 is going to be the same way. We're going to get a Quest 2 day one that's going to be a great headset. I think a Quest 2 a year down the road is going to be an even greater headset than Quest 2 on release day. I mean, I don't have any doubt about that. And they're also, they're also keeping in mind Quest 1 and compatibility issues and everything else. So they're going to hold back, I think, the true power of the Quest 2 for a little while. And it's never going to be PSVR. It's not. It's never going to be standalone. Quest 2 is never going to compete with a PSVR setup, with a Reverb G2 or something like that. It's just not. It's not going to look as good. It doesn't have the power of a true PC.
It could. I mean, come on, man. We have cloud gaming at its brink too.
Well,
so
you're getting into something else. You're getting into something else. I'm talking built-in. Right. I'm talking built-in technology that it has.
Fine. I'll give you that.
Yeah, so it's never going to be there, but I think it is going to improve over time. And we've talked about wireless streaming and link streaming, and I want to get in a little bit. I know a lot of people have questions about virtual desktop. Have you tried virtual desktop with the Quest 2 yet?
Yes, I did.
I
actually played some the other day. I was on the couch relaxing, and I started to play some Vox Machina. That game is super cool and underrated. And there's still a community that plays every day, and it's awesome. Moving the mechs and stuff.
Mech,
and that was perfect. It was like perfect.
So did you notice? Did you notice an improvement at this point? Did you notice an improvement over virtual desktop streaming to the Quest 2 as compared to Quest 1? And I think you talked about you're getting a Wi-Fi 6 router, and you don't have that yet. So you're using are you using like a 5G router? Is what you're using currently?
Yes, it's a very gaming one, so low latency, 3-band. I have a band dedicated just to the Quest, so I don't get like an interference and stuff like that. So I'm already in a very good spot. Now I want to make clear something, because I'm now running my Quest 2 on a beta of the update that is going to arrive for the Link in November, December in Q4. So because they contact me and say like, hey, do you want to show it on the True Relentless video? Because they knew that I was doing it. So they said like, let's make it look a little better,
Sure.
So they send me these like this exclusive like update, so I could show it to people. And the only thing, I didn't cramp up the resolution as much as they wanted me to, because I always keep my super sampling to 1.0 in every headset, because I want to do an even comparison.
Right.
Yep.
But you could bring the resolution up even more. So yes, you can have much more clarity, and the through the lenses never really show the real deal. I think that I do the through the lenses so they show like the effects of this stuff, like screen door effect, and I really try to focus on the bad parts so you can spot them. Okay.
Right.
But it looks very, very good. It's like, you need to start to have a trained eye to see the difference between PCVR and not native PCVR when it comes to crispness and stuff like that. With virtual desktop, because I have these last updates with the link, it looks the same. Like I didn't get any improvement in resolution and stuff like that because I already have the improvement in resolution. So that's what I want to make clear, because there was a little confusion around that. So they both look very good. The only thing is latency. That's a PCVR doesn't have the same latency that XR2 connected with the cable is gonna have. So if you use it just for PCVR, there's still word for PCVR. Maybe they're gonna be able to do something and it brings the latency down even more. But if you play, what I always say, like I don't play Beat Saber Expert Plus, or if there's Expert Plus or stuff like that, I don't know. It's like superhuman and like stuff that I'm not part of. I can't get to do. But if you play like that, probably you're not gonna be able to do it on link with the Quest.
Right.
Sure.
The latency is still there, so it's something that you have to consider.
For sure. So the beta, go ahead, Tyler.
Go ahead if you want to get into that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, so for me, the biggest draw for the G2, comparing the G2 and the Quest, is the field of view. So field of view to me is the biggest progression we have now going forward in VR, because now we have screens with basically no screen door effect. Is there a big difference going from the G2 to the Quest 2 of the field of view?
Not much.
Not huge? Really?
Not huge. Yeah, no. I don't know. I'm so used to this FOV right now. Every time that I switch headset, they're for me pretty much all the same. I think there's a lot of talk about it, like, oh, it's 5 degrees more, 5 degrees less.
Yeah, like you won't even notice it.
Like the thing that I wanna also, with the Quest 2, we're talking at a different audience than usual. We are trained VR people. So we always look at these FOV numbers. We'll look at the resolution numbers, like artifacts, screen door effect, and stuff like that. Quest 2 is not for us. Like let's make it very clear. Like Quest 2 is to bring VR to mainstream. So people are not gonna care. People are not gonna even know what is a field of view. Right. Yes, it's a little. I think they're very comparable, to be honest. I think the Quest 2 is a little smaller, but not much smaller than the Reverb G2. You don't get the Reverb G2 for field of view. You get the Reverb G2 for clarity.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the big thing about the G2 is the clarity. The lenses are, to me, the best lenses I ever tried in VR, because they have the clarity of the index, but the index has double layer lenses where they stack 2 lenses to create more field of view, but that creates God rays. In the Reverb G2, you don't have that part, so you just have the clarity, and the clarity is like, it's unbelievable. I can't wait you guys to see, because and I have a pre-production unit with the older lenses.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
You don't have the new ones.
Yeah, the new one's supposed to be even improved lenses. So
exactly. So I can't wait to see what it's gonna be, because the conjunction between those lenses and the screen is mind blowing. For me, with an 8K plus at home, with the Reverb G1 that I had in the past, with the Vibe Cosmos, with every headset that you want to say, for me, that was mind blowing. So I think it's something. I can count like nothing, but for me, it's something.
It's even with the they added the new power adapter for it. So instead of running off PC, through USB, it's going to run off its own power adapter for more power to the screens. For better brightness. Now, I think they even improved the darks. Didn't they do that even a while ago? I mean, these screens should be unbelievable.
Yeah.
And for me, it is going to replace my Index, and for controller comfort, because that's what I miss. I miss the ergonomics, of good controllers. So I feel like it's a great all-around headset. But, we were talking even pre-show, you can buy 2 Quest 2s for the price of 1 Reverb G2. So, and yes, they're different. They're, different headsets, different markets, but, you can do everything with the Quest 2 that you can with the G2. So it is hard,
And just to throw I was just going to throw this out there real quick. They did announce for the Reverb G2 pre-orders. The early pre-orders are going to start going out early November. And if you order now, that's supposed to start going out in December. And the things that they've updated since the first announcement of the Reverb G2, they said, we've updated the lenses to reduce the Fresnel ring reflections and improve clarity. Menu button on the controller is now domed, so you can distinguish between the windows and the menus button by touch. In addition to the full size, the mini display port adapter, USB-C to USB-A adapter will be included in every box. Our engineers found an opportunity to lower persistence by lowering brightness, and this required higher power draw. So the HP Reverb G2 will require a adapter to be plugged into the wall. So those are the changes to the actual production model that we should be hopefully getting beginning of November. And those are going to be going out, I think, based off when you pre-ordered too. So how early you pre-ordered.
And I want to say that it's awesome how HP is working with the VR community right now, because I don't want to, for sure there are other people that told them that, but the dome thing on the home button was my feedback. And then they started to talk about it after I told them that, because I started to say hey, I play VR every day. I can get used to these button being the same. I keep pushing one instead of the other. I'm already using this from 2 weeks. I still having the same problem. So this has to change. And they really listen to what we are saying. So prompt to them is they're doing an amazing job, and I love what they're doing. I hope I can see that my voice was heard. I'm pretty sure other people said that, but we're not many people with it. So it has to be something like that. So I'm super happy. I didn't know that, and I'm just hearing that now, and I was like, oh wow, they listen. It's super awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that.
Good.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, because I know some people have mentioned that they're canceling their pre-order for the G2 ever since the Quest 2 got announced, and I can't do that. I don't know which headset I'm more excited about, the Quest 2 or the G2. I think me personally, I'm more excited about the G2 because I'm more of a PC VR person. I want that best experience I can possibly have. But the Quest 2 gets me excited for the fact that it's going to push VR. It's going to get so many more people into VR. The more people we get into VR, the better high quality AAA games we're going to get, the more there's going to be able to play, the more people there's going to be able to play with in multiplayer games. So that's the stuff that really gets me excited about Quest 2. And Quest 2 is just a great product. I mean, like we talked about, the value is just, you can't compare it. So I think the Reverb G2 though is going to be the headset to beat. I mean, I have a Valve Index and I still ordered the Reverb G2 because I want that clarity, like Tyriel talked about. I want that clarity, the 4K with the better lenses. And audio is a huge thing in VR. Audio is almost as important to me, at least, as a good screen, a good, field of view, everything else. If you don't have good audio in VR, it takes away from the experience. And the Index headphones, I cannot speak highly enough about. And they're going to be on perfect. The G2. Same headphones, basically, on the G2. The audio is so good. I mean,
without basically, they are exactly the same. They really took them from one and put it on the other. They come from the same factory, so they're the same.
And it's such good audio that, I mean, I've literally been playing my Index, and I've been in a game that I'm just, lost in a game, and I'll hear a noise, and I have to be like, wait a minute, did that happen in the house, or was that in the game? I mean, that the sound is so real, and, you're not going to get that same audio out of the Quest 2. So Honestly, I mean, I know that the audio is supposed to be a little bit improved on the Quest 2 than the Quest 1, but you're going to want good audio added on there. Like I know you showed on your headset right now, you're running the Bionic Mantis headphones, and I have a set of those as well. And I was going to paint them black because I was going to put them on my Rift S, and I kept them white, and now I'm really glad I kept them white, at least for now, so I can put them on the Quest 2.
Luckily, we didn't do it because like it looks pretty sick. Like this, it looks perfect.
It really does look
good.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say is like about the fact like many people are canceling their pre-orders and stuff for the G2. To be honest, I don't blame anybody. Like you know, you wanna save some money, like you wanna save $300, $250 because you're gonna need a different strap. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You wanna save some money. How can I blame you? Like you know, like it's your money. So
right.
They are both great experiences. But I think that if you're playing just PC VR, the G2 will be just in many cases better. You know,
right.
I think with the Quest you still have better controllers, but you're gonna have added latency, so that could be a factor. But they're so close that I don't blame you. If it's me personally. If I have to grab one of the two, I would probably grab, even if I would love to get the G2, I would probably grab the Quest 2 just because it's cheaper. And so I can put my money in something else, you know? I'm not a rich guy, so that's why. If instead I have enough money to buy both, I will buy the G2, you know?
I mean, I think it's the ultimate combo, a G2 and a Quest 2. If you can have two headsets, I don't know how you could have a better combo than that, because you have, you know, pretty much one of the best headsets you can play PC VR with, and you have the Quest 2 that you can throw in a bag, you can take with you to a friend's house. You can play all the Oculus exclusives that are going to come very easily. You know, the hard thing for me is that, you know, me and Tyler, and I'm sure you as well, Tyriel, is that we want all of them. You know, we want to try all of them. And that's not the case for the general public. You know, most people don't want more than one headset. You know what I mean? Like for them, like they're like, why do I need more than one headset? So I can, like you said, I can understand some people just wanting to get the Quest 2, and it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. But it's hard to blame. But
if that brings you to VR, please get it, because we need more people. We need to bring our our thing to everybody, because it's awesome, and the world needs to recognize it.
Exactly, for sure.
And for people coming into VR, you know, it's just not the price of that headset. You then have to have a PC that can handle running those games and the headset. So, you know, your entry point isn't just that the 600, whatever it is, 600.
And that's
so 599. So yeah, I mean, you're still talking of spending over $1,000 at this point.
Yeah, and that's the one question I get.
There's no competition with that.
Yeah, anytime you bring up VR, somebody says, well, how much does a PC cost?
Right.
And well, now the Quest 2, you don't have to have a PC. You can get the Quest 2 and you can play so many great games, so many great experiences. And down the road, you can pick up a PC, a gaming PC, if you want to. You know, if you want to upgrade and you want to play the PC VR games, the better games, the higher fidelity games, you have that option, you know?
And for me, and I want to ask you, Tyriel, too, about the strap, but, you know, it starts at your basic headset. So you then, if you like it, you then have the opportunity to put money into that headset, to get a better strap, to get better audio solutions. So you can improve that. But my question to you, I guess, Tyriel, is what do you think about the included strap? Because comfort-wise, you know, I've got my Go sitting here. It's almost the exact same strap as this,
actually a little worse strap.
It is. So it doesn't have the lower support. Do you think it is good enough to get by on? I mean, it must be. They're shipping it with it. So what do you think about it, though? Is it forward heavy? Does it stretch?
Let me say it straight. The strap is crap.
Yeah, sure. That's
hashtag strap is crap. That's going to be the new hashtag.
There you go. Yeah, right.
But I understand that strap because they had to cut the price somewhere, you know. So if you get the Quest 2 with the Elite strap, it's still cheaper than the Quest 1, and it's still at a very good price.
That's true.
Right? So I can't complain. For me, I switched to it right away, to the Elite strap that NVIDIA doesn't want to show you. All right. I switched to this right away, and then I had actually to get back to the original strap for my review because I wanted to give a real opinion. All right. I played with I did many different, like a long time playing session with the original strap. I have to say that if you play for 30 minutes, you're fine, and then it starts to hurt. When you are at 2 hours, you wanna rip your head it's hurting. It's really hurting. So if you are like a casual gamer, you put the thing on for 30 minutes, you play your Beat Saber of the day to do some, or Supernatural to do your training and stuff, your workout and stuff. I think it's fine, and I see why they went with that, because like many people are gonna be completely fine because they don't use VR for long. For us, you wanna get the Elite strap, or if you have a deluxe audio strap, you wanna wait for an adapter so you can put that. You want a different strap. Like it's something that you have to consider absolutely if you are a VR gamer.
So do you think by adding the Elite strap, does the comfort then surpass the original Quest comfort?
Oh yeah. Big time.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good to hear. So it is an upgrade. I mean, at that point still.
Yes, because it's lighter. It's the 10% lighter. Then it's not much. So that is not gonna be like a big difference. But it's actually smaller. And this way is much smaller than the other one.
So it's back.
So
it's gonna take some of the front weight off.
Exactly. So the weight is distributed much better than the first one as well. So you actually feel less weight than just the 10% difference.
Have you?
And then once the battery strap too should help with counterbalancing.
I was going to ask, have you tried any
counterbalance
stuff to see how that aids in comfort at all?
Yes, I did. I tried to use for a while the Studio Form VR counterweight that I used on my Quest. I put it on the strap over here, but it's not super comfortable. It's gonna have to come out with a different shape of the weight. There is a metal bar in there. The shape is not that comfortable, but it helps. But to be honest, I don't feel that it's completely needed. I'm really enjoying this kind of comfort.
That's good to hear.
That is.
It's good. It's not the best out there, but it's good. I have to say that the most comfortable headset I ever tried so far is the G2, because it's super light and the strap is just amazing. So I think that's the winner. But if I have a second, this is very close to a second.
Yeah, that's good. I'm actually not upset too much with the fact that they went with the soft strap. At first, I was super disappointed. When we got those leaks, I was like, are you kidding me? They came out with the soft strap. But then they came out with the official, Elite straps and stuff, which I've always wanted them to do. And including the soft strap, we got to think about the people that are going to be getting this headset for media consumption. Some people don't really want to play VR games. Some people want to watch Netflix, while laying in bed or up in a recliner. So it's going to be nice to have the option to go to the soft strap or just keep the soft strap for that. The one thing I do worry about real quick is that if people get into VR their first time, this is the first headset, and they grab it and they don't realize there's other solutions for comfort, and they don't play because they're like, I can't handle the comfort of it, So they need to have some advertising around, for the mainstream market of there's options to make this more comfortable. It's not the most comfortable headset out of the box. You're going to have to do some stuff,
I think there is some out on the box. Is there some on the back of the box that shows accessories? I'm trying to think where I saw that.
No, it's
not on the box.
Yeah,
not on the box.
No, on the box there are just games on it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
For some reason, just to reply to Brandon that asked me a question.
Thank you for that. Super chat, Brandon.
Thanks for the donation. So that's Tyriel missed the spring mechanism that made getting the Quest 1 on and off easy. That's missing on the Quest 2, unfortunately. Well, no, I don't miss it because I'm super used to the deluxe audio strap and the other strap with the knob. I actually prefer the knob to a spring because the spring is unpredictable. You don't know how much you have actually to close it to have it in the right comfort. With this one instead, you open it, you get now I have the headphones, but you open it, you get inside, and then you close it. I opened video, showed that, and it's super easy. So I actually prefer it because I can decide how much I'm gonna close my headset or and stuff like that.
The reason why I like the rear tightening, because a lot of times when I'm doing stuff outside of VR, I will put it up on my head and retighten it so it fits like a hat.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the springs, all they want to do is just fall down. It drives me nuts. So it does make it nice. I put it up there, retighten it, kind of sit it there, and it stays there for as long as I need to. That's
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm so excited for the Elite straps. And are you going to be picking up the Elite strap with the battery as well, Tyriel? Is that something? Because I know you guys didn't get sent those right out. Like I don't think anybody has that in hand yet.
No. I asked them if they can send it so I can show it, but they're super busy lately, so I think they're gonna see it later.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a win-win situation with the battery strap. It's a little more expensive, but again, if you consider the Quest 1 with the case, yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad value, really, because I mean, if you look into buying, you know, a HTC Vive Deluxe audio strap, you're looking around $100. By the time you add in a rear battery bank, you know, those can get, depending on if you want to go an official route or, you know, an Anchor or something, and then you're getting the carry case as well, and it fits in it. I don't know, do we know if it's going to fit in the carry case with the battery strap Elite one?
Yeah,
okay,
I thought
Come on,
well,
it comes with it.
Yeah,
it comes with it. I guess that's true.
I
guess that's true. I wasn't thinking.
They ship it together.
I wasn't thinking. My bad.
Yeah, here's both, but you pick which one you want to use.
That would be very odd, you know, like, oh, this is the case, but you can't use it with that.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my
That'd be terrible.
And who was it? Wasn't it Costco
that looks crazy. That looked crazy drinking your thing there because it didn't show it.
Just drinking.
Out of thin air. Isn't it Costco that had the bundle too with the battery head strap? It was the Elite strap
regular Elite
with
strap.
The case and the 256 for $429, I think is what it was. I'm going off memory here.
Offer from Costco,
I love these.
You can buy just
bundles.
two. Each card you can buy just two. Yeah.
And there's also bundles that come with the link cable. Like there's all kinds of stuff. Let's talk about the link cable a little bit. So are you using the official link cable? Have you tested it out with third-party cables? Have you been able to get will it charge using the third-party cables as well as the official cable?
All right, so I just want to add something about the strap before, because we were saying about the Deluxe Audio strap, you know, but the Deluxe Audio strap also has the audio inside that is very good. And
it is
unfortunately, with the $129, we still don't get any audio solution.
That is true.
I hate that. Yes.
Do you think Oculus will do something official with that, though? Do you think we'll see an official audio solution out of? I mean, because they could do clip-on, kind of like the Mantis for the Elite strap.
I hope so, but so far they partnered with Logitech, and Logitech showed like some stuff that is like, what the heck, dude? Like you have you have the possibility to do something cool. Instead, you just get a pair of headphones with a shorter.
I know. That's what we talked about last week. I'm like, they're no different than regular headphones. It's just their same series.
And I don't like I know we talked about it last time. I don't like for one, I don't like the two-part thing. I don't like putting on a headset and then putting on headphones over top. And wearing something like this in VR with a headset strapped to my face, I get claustrophobic and I get way too hot. These things make me hot when I'm playing. So I mean, the index audio is what we need. And I have the VR ears on pre-order and stuff. I don't know how those are going to turn out, but the off-ear, you know, clip-on headphones with some really, really good drivers is what I really want to see. And like you said, Logitech, I feel like this was a missed opportunity. Maybe they're working on something else. Maybe they needed a little bit more time, but I don't know.
I don't think they are at all. I think
they
would
also
have
work on
released
the
them.
keyboard and stuff.
Well, right, true. But I think Oculus themselves will not have their own official audio solution, because why would they have not had that at release? They would have. There's no way I feel like that they're going to come out with something later. I'd love for them to prove me wrong and shove it in my mouth, but I don't think we're going to. I don't know.
They're investing so much on the audio department in Facebook research that I expect them to come out with something that is very, very good, and so they are not ready yet to have something that is very, very good. Going. But that's just me guessing. It's like I don't want. I don't.
And I think third party. Honestly, I think third party accessories are going to blow up for this, because we've seen quite a few with the first Quest. Not as many as I thought we would, but I really think with the popularity that Quest 2 is going to see, we're going to see a lot of these big name companies wanting in on the action. So we're going to see a lot. I mean, I can't wait to see all the accessories that are going to come out with it, because I like hardware. You know, I like headsets. I like accessories. I like all of that kind of stuff. So it makes me very excited.
Even for enterprise editions and companies.
This is the attachment. Like, we're going to see so many 3D printed
It's
parts,
so easy.
Like that.
Yeah.
It is
so
too.
Yep.
Oh, I know.
To go back to your question, because then we went for a tangent. I'm using now the official Oculus Link cable because they sent it over, and so it's a little better because it's more flexible, it's long and stuff like that.
Yep.
But it works the same with the if you have a good cable, a USB 3.1 Gen 2.
Right.
It's fine. So don't worry. It's like there's nothing. Again, there's no DRM on the thing, so on the cable, so they don't actually recognize that it's the official cable.
Right.
So you're gonna get you have the same speed, you're gonna get the same quality.
Yeah, the official cable is it's quite a bit more expensive than what you can pick up a third-party cable for. But I've tried some other third-party cables. I really like the official cable because of how light and how flexible that thing is. I mean, the cable, it doesn't, but it almost disappears. You know what I mean? You can almost forget that cable's there because you don't feel it hanging on you. You don't feel it tugging on you as much as some of the bigger cables. So I know it's a little bit more expensive, but if you're going to play a ton of PSVR with your Quest, I recommend the official cable. I really do. But,
Yes.
It is.
Also, this one charges the Quest better than the others.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if you want to, like in the long run, you have a better battery life and stuff. This one doesn't ruin that much the Quest. Because we know, like with phone, we all have phone experience. If you keep charging and charging, there might be some problems in the future. Yeah. So that's something doesn't happen now. Should happen less with the official cable. So I don't know. I like it for the same reason you do, Sean. It's lighter, it's more flexible and stuff like that. But it's very expensive.
It is.
And to be honest, if it's my money again, I will go for a third party.
Sure. Yeah, it's not necessary at all. Yeah.
Or I will go for a virtual desktop.
Yeah. Right. True. So true.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. So,
but the quality is the same with the different cables, so don't worry.
Awesome. What IPD are you around? Do you know your IPD?
Yes. I think I do.
I figured you would.
Right? Yeah.
I figured you would.
It's 66.4, my IPD. So I'm for the first time in history, I have an headset that is not made for my IPD because every headset is made for the 66 millimeter IPD and then they scale up and down. Mm-hmm. It's the first time ever that I don't have the settings on an headset. So I actually, for the first time, feel the pain of people that were complaining about the Oculus Go, were complaining about the Rift S and stuff like that.
Rift S is not good for me.
Yes. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I downplayed it so long. And now I understand.
Right.
It's sad that if you put a mechanism that moves it from one to the other, it means that there's a midway. So why don't you put a freaking dial in there?
Yeah.
Like, why? I don't think you, like I said it also in my review, did you really save money doing something like it? I don't think so.
That's what was my thought, was that it had to have been something to save money, but I don't really know why it would save money. So I don't know exactly what their thinking was around that process. But
no, I actually know what was their thinking because I had a briefing with them and I was very mad they didn't put the dial. and they told me because the dial, we noticed that not many people knew how to use the dial, so we made it easier. But again, that's a problem that they created themselves, because how many times did you see instructions on the original Oculus Quest to use the dial to move the lenses? There was nothing. We got the IPD showing up with the latest updates for a year and 2 or 3 months. When you were moving that, nothing was happening. So people were like, what the heck is this? You know? So you created a problem to then have a reason to solve a problem that you created. That's my view on it.
I guess my thing with it, though, is why not have 5 levels of adjustment instead of 3? I mean, there's not a whole...
It gets more expensive,
Yeah, but what can be expensive about it, though? They're only adding of the location of where it's at on the screen and notches on a physical adjustment. I mean, there's the cost in that has to be almost null. I mean, I just, that blows my mind that they didn't make it more than 3 points of adjustment, because if you line up in between, now you're going one way or the other. I fortunately land on one of them, so I got lucky. You know, I drew the right straw, I guess. But
have you tried doing the middle adjustment at all? Because there was a really bad review about Quest 2 on a website. I can't remember what the website was, but they actually talked about putting it in between the settings, and they were actually having some success with that. But I don't know, because software changes as well when you go between those three. So I don't know what that would do to. I don't know if you've tested that at all to see if that's a usable solution.
No, it's not.
Okay.
The thing that I'm expecting them to do is with a future update to actually change the software for the APD.
Yeah.
With you put it like in a position 2 or position 3 or position 1, and then on the software you can change where it's like perfectly. You know, that's something that I give the feedback about it. Something that I would like to see for people. You know, put it in the dev mode. Put it
that's
hide it so people that don't really care can see it, can get distracted by it. By put it for people that actually know and have discomfort with it, because you can feel a little discomfort with your eyes if you're not sitting in the right position. I have to say that you get used to it. Like right now, after 3 weeks using it or even more, I'm okay. I'm not complaining as much as I was doing the first week, because I got used to it. But there's a process when you put it on right away. You're like, crap, that is not working for me, and then it starts to work better and better. That doesn't mean that it's right for your eyes, by the way, because you get used to it. But that doesn't mean that your eyes sit in the right position.
Yeah, I am glad that they at least did something. You know, I wish for sure they would have done a slider. You know, it makes more sense to me, but I am glad they at least have some kind of adjustment, because I was a little bit worried, you know, early on that we would get a Quest 2 that was like the Rift S, you know, single panel LCD with no adjustment at all. Because for me, the Rift S, I can play it and it's perfectly playable. But if I'm in there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like when I'm done, my eyes just hurt. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I have eye strain that is uncomfortable after I play for a long time that I don't get in other headsets that have, you know, like the Index or the Quest and stuff, that I can slide that to a more comfortable position. But it is a problem that it's just weird to me that they didn't do just a slider. But I am grateful for something. Something's better than nothing, in my opinion. But
if we landed with the Go stuff, I would have been mad.
It's like it's not going to be an issue for people. It's an issue for us because we are like addicts and stuff.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You know, we have experience with other headsets. We know what it means. For people that are going to jump in for the first time, it's going to be easier. It's going to be completely fine. I just hope in the future they're going to think to us as well. A little. But again, I'm 66.4. I'm using the settings number 2 because I found that it's better to go up than to go down for my eye comfort.
Yeah.
So if you are in the middle of 2 settings, go for the lower setting. Also, another thing with the IPD is that, again, like I'm just really saying everything so people know, but it's something that is, you know, it was okay with the Rift S, it should be okay here too. With your in the setting number 3, if you have a wider APD like mine, you're going to start to see the lines of the screen, so the edges of the screen.
Right.
And for some people could be annoying, but you forget about it after 10 minutes that you...
Is it kind of like the Rift S? Because with the Rift S, I can see the sides.
Exactly like the
Rift S. Yeah, and that bugs me. It really does. The Rift S field of view, I mean, to me, it even feels less than the original Quest by quite a bit. I mean, that's, if I go from like the Index to the Rift S, I'm like, holy crap. You know, if I go from the Index to the Quest, it's like, I mean, I still notice it, but it doesn't feel as huge. I don't know. And I do want to say thanks to Recycled. He said Tyriel gets it. So, yeah.
Thanks.
I want to get it too, man. I need my hands on this Quest. I really do. It's driving me nuts. I know, to see all this and not be able to experience it.
Where's it at?
If you can move her, like you can try it.
There you go. True.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's
You're
true.
Always welcome.
But
I would say again, we're creating so many problems that are not going to be a problem for the majority of people.
Yeah.
That's why. I got some reviews also on my review that like you didn't go enough in depth and stuff, because that review wasn't for for like just the VR enthusiasts. It was like for everyone out there, you know.
That's true.
Because if you are, I had to take a choice. It's like I was like, you know, I'm at the first one in a batch. I was lucky enough to be the first one in a batch of people with the Quest 2 in exclusive. So the first people, if you watch a review, you're gonna probably watch mine because it's there from the beginning. All right.
Sure.
So Oculus is gonna try to send like advertising and stuff out there, so people are gonna get interested. I'm gonna look for review and stuff. They're gonna find my review for sure. So I wanna be open to all the people that comes to VR and say, hey, this is the situation. Then we can get in depth later, and that's why a week after I started with the Through the Lenses video. But
it wouldn't have made sense right off the bat, you know, to have new people coming in.
Because if you put the Through the Lenses video right away, where I show actually the problems, like I show the screen door effect with a 500% crop of a camera that is already cropped of 200%. You know, it's like I'm showing something that is not even real. It's something that we understand because we know what we are looking at with those videos. But if you don't know, you don't see that in reality. You don't see it that clearly in reality. And so that's why also every time I start with the Through the Lenses, I like, this is not the science. These are made for your eyes, not for that. That's why I'm showing the stuff that you may not see, because it's important for people to know that that is not the experience. That is like nitpicking on the small details, you know, to be very like honest and stuff. But yeah, majority of people are going to be completely fine, and they did a great job there. So I love that.
For sure. And I mean, we have to realize that that's the target audience of Oculus and Facebook right now are the people that don't have VR headsets. They already have us all hooked. We're already hooked. Everybody, you know, the people that watch this show and everything, we're hooked already. We know we want, you know, all of this stuff. It's the people that have never experienced VR that those are the ones that they're after. And it makes sense. Those are the ones they should be after. You know, they want to get them in headsets. And I meant to put the picture in here. I think it's in the other scene, Tyler, for the Best Buy display. I think it was Best Buy that had the Quest 2 on display. So I'm actually going to go to a Best Buy today, the one that usually has Oculus stuff in there, hoping they have that display up just so I can get my hands on it. And if I do, I'll post those in the Discord. But yeah,
just to touch it, just to see what it feels like.
Yeah, for sure.
I know.
But
to get
I have to say that we are in a weird spot right now, where you know, we VR people don't understand that we have created a little bubble. All right, we are in this VR bubble. And I love it. Like I think it's the best bubble ever because the community is amazing. We are all super really passionate people and stuff. Every time, like, you know, you read the comments and stuff, people are freaking amazing and I love it. But we are creating a bubble, and this is the moment where someone is trying to burst that bubble, you know? Oculus is trying to get out of the bubble and make us like ready for the outside world. And I think we need also to understand that and try to don't stay in our bubble anymore. We have to start to understand that we have the opportunity to become mainstream right now as a platform. And this Quest 2 right now is our best bet. Let's be honest.
And where we're at with it, the consumers and the market are ready for it. You know, it's ready for mainstream consumers now.
And what better time of the year than right before holiday? I mean, that was definitely planned, and it was smart planning. I mean, I have to imagine this is going to be the hot product of this holiday season. I mean, along with the new consoles, but I mean, even still.
I don't know, man. There's so much stuff in this month.
True.
Like, we have new graphic cards, new consoles. We have the Quest. Is like, geez, it's expensive.
It is expensive. I trust me, I've noticed, and I still haven't got my hands on an RTX or a 3080 card yet either. I still want one of those. A couple people have got lucky. That's what I want next for sure. But what did you gonna say something, Tyler?
Oh no. There's only been about one person that I know of that's even got one. I really feel like there was 100 3080 cards go out. It's been a little frustrating, but
And we're getting things like Star Wars Squadrons, you know, next week and stuff. I mean, not only all of this hardware stuff that we're all excited about, there are so many games that are just unbelievable that are coming that I cannot wait for. And that's just one of them, you know, and Medal of Honor, you know, and it's just so much good stuff. So they picked a good time because there's already, you know, for newcomers into VR, there's already a huge catalog of really, really good games and experiences that they're going to get to play day one. You know, back in 2016, we didn't have all this stuff. We were gobbling up everything we could get just to see what was good, you know, and there's just so much stuff now, and not even including all the stuff that's coming like that. Right. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So, I mean, it really is a very exciting time to be, you know, VR gamers and VR enthusiasts. It's, I don't know. These are the times that we've dreamed of for a long time, I think, and they're right upon us. It is coming. The storm is coming. It's coming.
Counting the days.
So. Like, we need more games. Like, we are always like, how many crappy games did we play?
Yeah.
Guys? In these years, like how many crappy games did we play? Yeah. So we deserve it. Let's say it.
And I think now we've gained the attention of all these, you know, big companies, developers, AAA titles now wanting to jump on board because of where it's at. And that's
starting.
Yeah, and yes, development takes a while. I mean, obviously they worked on Half-Life Alyx for what, 3 years at least. So it takes a while, but I mean, we're getting them, you know, we're getting them trickle over. And some better than others. But
I think there's a lot that's in development that we don't know about yet either. I mean, there's games, big games that they've been working on behind the scenes that have not been announced yet. I'm sure of that. You know, it's coming. I think it definitely is.
But I also see. I don't know how well I see the situation for PCVR right now because you know the focus now for money is not PCVR, it's standalone VR.
It is.
So we are in a kind of in a weird situation where we are in the middle and we're like, oh, I don't know, it's gonna be good, it's not gonna be good. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. And we talked about that early because, you know, for a developer, it's really hard because if you're, you know, VR developers already struggle to an extent. And if you're not on the Quest, that's a huge market share that you're not getting the monetary value from. And that's tough. You know, that's going to be tough, even tougher going forward. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah. It is a divide. The only saving grace for us, though, is that the Quest still does work for PCVR. So we still have a little bit of a saving grace there, but I still don't think it's enough because the market for Quest is just going to blow up. Yeah. So it will probably push a lot of developers to develop for Quest only, or at least to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Let's remember, like the Quest 1 now goes like on Craigslist and stuff for like $150.
Right. I know.
It was still
freaking awesome.
Crazy.
They were still selling for basically MSRP like the week before Quest 2 launch, even up to Quest 2 launch, and right after, I mean not launch, announcement. And after that, it was just, I was watching the prices on, you know, Facebook Marketplace and stuff. They were just plummeting. But and it's, I mean, how can you sell one right now for even $300? You know, I mean, you can't.
To be honest, at $200, I would buy it right away.
Yeah,
it's like still a great headset.
Deal. Yeah,
and for a year, I'm gonna be covered.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
that is true.
Then like games exclusives are gonna come out for the Quest 2 because that is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I'm very sad about it, but that's how technology goes.
Yeah.
So we have to accept it.
Yeah, I mean, for $200 or whatever you can get for a Quest, I'm not selling my old Quest. I'm going to keep it because it's worth more than that to me, and it's just another headset that I can, you know, technically I have 2 Quest 1s, and I'm about to have 2 Quest 2s. I got the 64 and the 256. I could have 4. I guess I'd have to make 4 accounts, but I could have 4 people in my house, and we could all play a game together. You know what I mean? They don't even have to own VR. We can play it together and we have 2 Oculus accounts because my wife has one, but. I mean, that's cool. So, I mean, for people that want to hang on to them, it makes sense, you know, not to sell them for the low prices that they're 100%. Selling for. But
it's not all single player, and you can't, you know, you could only play with people online before, to where now you can play it in your household even and play online together, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, I just need it. I need it, man.
And G2, I'm so excited. I mean, both of these headsets have me so excited for sure.
If they both showed up at your doorstep, though, Sean, what would you play first? Which one? If you had to go into one, you had them both sitting in front of you.
That's a two-edged sword.
What do you do, man? I know.
Well, I don't know, because I'd have to set up the Quest. But no, normally the Quest is just so easy to grab and throw on. You know, you don't have to turn your PC on. You don't have to hook it up. You don't have to do anything. You just grab it and you're in VR right away. Yeah. So there is that barrier still, but I don't know. It'd be a hard choice. I just want to see them both. I'd probably put one eye in each. That's what I do.
Come on. This guy. Who brought this guy?
I personally go always for PCVR.
Yeah, me
like
too,
in my year and a half with the Quest one, I never used it as much as other headsets. I loved having it, but I noticed that because so many games are on both platforms, I still prefer having a cable and better graphics.
Yeah, I play Index. Index is my go-to headset right now. I play the Index more than I play the Quest, and I still play the Quest quite a bit, but Index is go-to.
The grips were the saving grace for me for the Index controllers. That just changed it for me.
Comfort a little bit, for sure.
Too.
Mad Wookie. Thank you so much.
Mad Wookie, cheers, man.
Yeah, we do need to get wrapping this show up though. We've gone a little bit past. We've gone quite a bit longer here. I do want to ask you. I mean, do you think, Tyriel? Do you think this Quest 2 has what it takes to go mainstream? Do you think it's going to happen?
Yes and no. It depends on Facebook. It depends how much money they put behind. They already put a lot. Like, it's not. This is something that Palmer Luckey said many years ago.
Even if it was free.
The problem is not the price yet, and it is correct. Like, you still have to put a big thing in front of your face that is heavy. So I think it's gonna change many minds about like VR is not expensive. It's gonna give that message. So it's gonna be the first. As I said, it's gonna be the first thing like bursting the bubble. But I don't know if we're gonna get mainstream yet.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but I think it's gonna help. I mean, I've already seen so many people just in my personal life that have pre-ordered the Quest 2 that had no interest in VR before, and I've tried to convince them, and they never ordered anything. But I mean, multiple people now, that I know personally that this is gonna be their first headset, and it's pretty exciting.
And to me, it's always once somebody tries it, and that's all it is getting it out into the hands of people, because you don't know what VR is until you try it yourself.
Yeah.
So,
but it's hard to say. We still don't know. We really don't know if it. I mean, if it's going to have what it takes. But I think it's a good start. I mean, it's a good start, and we're going to find out.
Absolutely.
So
I'm glad we're here for it. It's awesome.
I'm glad we're here for it too. And I think that it's a great period because you have in this period we have the G2 that is a great headset for PCVR. You have the Quest 2 that is a great headset for everyone. You still have like possibilities to go to very expensive stuff if you want a bigger refresh rate, like with the Valve Index controllers that have been tracking, do also full body tracking with stuff and stuff like that. If you're really like a pro on this stuff, we're really starting to have a market that is more similar to a smartphone market, but we are not that yet because. I feel like in the moment when I'm gonna be able to review an headset every week, like the guys that makes review on the internet about smartphone do, that we're gonna say that we are mainstream. Right now, I think we are still a little away from it because there's no competition. And
very true.
Definitely.
I think if we get one big thing, some big celebrity to blow it up for us, we stand a chance to go mainstream.
I don't know. It didn't work. I remember
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. It was Kimmel that played Fallon. No, it was Fallon. I think it was
Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
who
that
was
played
she?
Saber with the girl from Marvel and stuff. That didn't do anything.
But that was before they could run to the store and buy a $299 Quest 2 that was almost 4K with an. You know what I mean?
You had to have a PC and
it's hard to say.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, hard to say. You're right. We're gonna see.
We're gonna see. Yeah, it's exciting.
I know.
We have to be ready for it. Though.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Let's get ready.
And for all the new people that are just getting into VR, stay off of Reddit, because if you're just getting into VR and you're on Reddit, that place can be brutal. So don't listen to everything that you see on Reddit.
Don't get scared.
Yeah. So, but we really do. We should wrap up. We really appreciate you being on. It was really great to be able to talk to you, to be able to get your perspective of these headsets. And I mean, you yourself are doing great things for the VR community. The content you put out is top notch. Honestly, it's really great content. And I'm sure everybody watching this is probably already subscribed to your channel, but if they're not, they definitely need to be. They definitely need to check it out. And congrats on just recently hitting 50K too. That's awesome. It's awesome. So.
And all his links are in the description below, so grab them there if you need them. But we really do appreciate you being on, and got to answer all my questions too about the Quest. That was That was my big one. I think I'm already sold on the G2, 100%. It's still those unknowns about the Quest, but I think you've answered them all. The strap was the big one for me, but thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And,
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thanks so much for having me here.
Yeah,
it's been awesome. Super cool.
Do you want to give a shout out to the super chats real quick, Tyler? Because I do apologize for chat. When we have a guest, it's really hard to really pay attention to what's going on in chat because we don't want to cut each other off, and we're trying to all have conversation. But we really do appreciate not only Tyriel being on here, but we appreciate everybody in chat just coming to hang out with us and talk. And a lot of times after the show, I go back through and kind of read a lot of the chats that because I miss so much a lot of times in the show.
I know.
We just really appreciate everybody.
No, but yeah, thank you. And I will say to German Rifter, which good to see you, man. Rizzle Rock, as always, Tony Digital, Brandon, and Recycled, and Mad Wookie. So really, really do appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
It's all well appreciated. But
for sure,
so good being with everybody, and for the subs too, man.
Yeah, thank you for the subs, the new subs that came on
Absolutely.
board. So.
Yeah, really do appreciate everybody being here. Good talking with you, Tyriel. It's been so good. We love hashing out with everybody, especially active community members too.
Yeah,
so
we'll have to do it
really
again.
Good you being here.
We'll do it again someday for sure.
For sure.
So, All right. Well, thanks everybody so much. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys back here or see you in VR. Later, guys. Cheers.
Got into VR in 2016. That was when we first we got the Rift.
Howdy, howdy.
Hey, it worked.
There he is. How about
Perfect.
that?
Hey.
We're lucky to be here. I will admit that. My name's Tyler. This is Sean. We're Rendered Reality, and we were definitely up late playing some VR last night.
Yeah.
Hole is bigger.
That's what I was thinking.
It's not always better.
Let's keep it PG, boys.
I mean, right? We don't know like how much sound is coming out of it.
It's true.
Right.
Is there more sound coming out of it? We don't know.
Yeah.